here on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. Tonight's game is a critical one for the Vikings as they take on the Dun St. Croix Conference leading Durand Panthers, who are currently undefeated in conference play and one of the preseason picks to win the conference title. Now, coming up in this edition of Viking Pregame, we'll take a look at tonight's matchup between the Durand Panthers and the Colfax Vikings. Then we'll get Coach Serrar's perspective on tonight's game with Coach's Corner. Following that, we'll bring you all the play-by-play action of tonight's game. So it's time to get ready for some exciting high school girls basketball. All that coming up right after this brief timeout. You're tuned to Viking Pregame on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
This is the story of a boy who is very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where nothing could get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. It made him feel uncomfortable. One day, he found out he had something called autism. His family got him help, and slowly, he learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
Welcome back to Viking Pregame, where Dan Petchow and I are getting ready to bring you all of the action of tonight's Dun St. Croix Conference game between the 4-1 Durand Panthers and the 2-3 Colfax Vikings. A Viking victory tonight would tie them with the Panthers for the Dun St. Croix Conference lead at 3-1. Now, on Monday of this week, the Vikings were unable to hold on to a second-half lead and fell to the Regis Ramblers 44-36 in a non-conference game. Leading the way in scoring for the Vikings in that game was junior swing forward Madison Barstead, who scored 13 points. She was followed by junior forward Emily Bertram Schofield, who added 6th, while senior Abby Irwin and freshman McKenna Shipman added 5 each. The Viking leaders thus far this season are Barstead, who's averaging 13 points per game, followed by Shipman, who's averaging just over 7 points per game. Barstead is also the Viking leading rebounder, pulling down over 8 boards per game. The Durand Panthers are an experienced team, returning 6 seniors and 6 juniors from last year's team, which finished 10-4, and that was good enough for a third-place finish in the Dun St. Croix Conference. They come into tonight's game with a 4-win and 1-loss record overall, and are 3-0 in conference play. The Panthers are averaging just over 53 points per game while giving up only 32. They are led in scoring by junior forward Madison Kilbotton and 6'1" senior center McKenna Hurlbert, who are putting up 11 points per game each. Right behind them is senior guard Leah Sabalto, who is adding another 10. Now, coming up next, following this timeout, we'll get the coach's perspective on tonight's game between the Vikings and the Panthers as we chat with Viking head coach Courtney Serrar on Coach's Corner. You're tuned to Viking Pregame on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Being prepared is a part of who you are, but it's especially important in the case of a disaster. Be informed about possible emergencies in your area. Make a plan that covers where you go in an emergency. Build a kit with the things you need to survive. There's no one more capable of planning for your situation than you. Start your plan today. Go to ready.gov/myplan.
Time now to see what the coaches have to say. It's Coach's Corner, where they look at tonight's game from the coach's point of view. And now, Coach's Corner.
Today we're talking with Viking girls head coach Courtney Serrar. And Coach, back on Monday, the Vikings seemed to have the game with Regis pretty well under control, and then all of a sudden a cold front came through, and the girls couldn't make any shots and couldn't get any rebounds, and that allowed Regis to come back and take the victory. Your comments about that game?
Yeah, first half we thought we played really well. Maddie did a great job on, their heart and soul of their team, that McKenna Rorscheid, and I was feeling really confident going into the second half. But they put on a press, and we just it put us on our heels a little bit, and we didn't handle it very well. And then, like you said, it didn't help. We shot 4 for 25 in the second half, and yeah. So you're not going to win many games doing that. And I told the girls, we only scored 36 points, and we're not going to win many games doing that either. So, luckily, I think I thought every other aspect besides, again, rebounding tends to be kind of our weak area. But, things that we can work on and things that we can fix. And we got a lot of shots up this week. So I'm hoping that will fix our shooting woes.
Well, you didn't have a whole lot of time to get them fixed, because tonight you're taking on one of the favorites in the Dunn St. Croix Conference, the Durand Panthers. But a victory will put you into a tie for first place in the conference. So what can you tell us about the Panthers?
Yeah, they're very good. They return 4 out of their 5 starters from last year. A really good senior in that McKenna Hurlbert, who's over 6 feet tall. So we're going to have our hands full with her. And then, as a group, they are just quick and athletic, and, they have quite the press themselves. So we've been working on that this week, and the girls know, what this win, if a win tonight, would do for us. And I'm hoping we can pull it together.
Well, that being sitting on top is a place the Vikings have been used to for the past few years, so hopefully the girls have a little bit of that in their blood and in their DNA, and can make that work for them tonight. Now, are there any Viking players that you're looking to bring a little extra to tonight's game?
Maddie was our only scorer in double digits on Monday night, so I'm hoping, whether it be Addison back, she's finally had a couple practices under her belt. We're looking for her to step up to the plate. I know Marissa is a very good shooter and was extremely cold on Monday, so I'm hoping she can, knock down a few shots. And, like I said, we have lots of kids who are capable of putting the ball in the basket, so we just have to figure out who that is tonight. And, maybe it'll be a few different kids, but we definitely need to have more than one person in double figures if we're going to get a victory tonight.
Maybe they just need a bit of that confidence bug to come and bite them.
Right, exactly.
Are there any injury, illness, or COVID situations we should be aware of?
Jazzy Best is still out with her ankle injury. So other than that, I think that's about it. We don't have any, injuries or COVID situations going on, so that's good. And, Durand's JV is still, I think, quarantined from their COVID situation. So there is, only the varsity game tonight. So I'm hoping, that we just come ready to play.
Now, this is your last game of 2020. And for a lot of reasons, a lot of us would like to get 2020 in the rearview mirror. And so next one is 2021, because there's no Fall Creek on Monday, right?
Right. Yep. They are having COVID issues, so that game is going to be rescheduled for sometime in the future. I think it's been a hard year for a lot of people, and I'm hoping with the turn of the calendar that some light is at the end of the tunnel for the end of this whole COVID situation. But like I said, those are things that are out of our control and things that we're not going to worry about. So our attitude still remains the same. Just taking it day by day, and, grateful for the opportunity to continue to play, and that things have gone well for us so far as, no one's gotten sick or, anything like that. So we're just, trying to make sure that we're staying healthy and, thankful that, there is even a season, because I know there's, several states that are not attempting a season right now. So we're happy for the chance to play.
So you just go out and play some ball.
That's all you can do.
Yep. Well, Coach Farrar, good luck in tonight's game. Hopefully the Vikings are going to find a way to put a complete game together and gain a portion of that conference lead.
Yeah, thank you.
You've been listening to Coach's Corner, where they look at tonight's game from the coach's point of view. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
If I could go back and change it all, I would. I think I'm gonna miss you the most. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Maybe it's just the little moments. If I could go back and change it all, if I could go back, I would. But I can't.
Welcome back to Viking Pregame. Tonight, the Vikings will attempt to get back on the winning track as they take on the Durand Panthers. The Vikings have to find a way to make shots and get better rebounding if they hope to move their record to 3-3 on the season and pull into a first-place tie in conference play at 3-1. Now, on the other hand, the Panthers are trying to show that they belong all alone atop the Dunn-St. Croix Conference standings. So, the stage is set for some exciting girls' high school basketball. And we'll have all the action for you right here on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. Now, in just a moment, I'll head over to the school to join my colleague Dan Petchow as we'll bring you all the play-by-play action of tonight's girls' game between the Colfax Vikings and the Durand Panthers. That's all coming up next. You've been tuned to Viking Pregame on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text-to-emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies. Selfie, nailed it.
We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Craig, come on man, let's split a ride home.
You've been tuned to Viking Pregame with a look at today's Colfax Vikings girls game. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. Stay tuned. Coming up next is live Colfax Viking basketball.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back.
Dad!
You probably don't remember what you told me,
That was perfect.
but I heard every word.
There are 16 million children struggling with hunger in America. That's 1 in 5 daughters, sons, neighbors, and classmates who don't know where their next meal is coming from. Yet billions of pounds of good food go to waste every year. It's time we do something about it. Feeding America is a nationwide network of food banks that helps provide meals to millions of kids and families in need. Visit feedingamerica.org to help them feed even more. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're feeding America.
Colfax Viking basketball is on the air.
They're at the free throw line to Addison from 3. She hit it! Addison Olsen with the 3-point.
The Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV proudly presents tonight's Colfax Viking girls varsity basketball game.
Baum being chased down and finally pulled away by Barstead, who puts it up and in.
Join us as we head out to the gym for tonight's Viking basketball.
Up to Best. Best drives into the lane, puts up a shot, rattles around and in.
Remove your hats and place your hand over your heart to honor the flag. As the national anthem is sung by Colfax High School senior Drew Gibson. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er
That's Drew Gibson with tonight's national anthem. And Rick Olson along with Dan Petschow, and we're here at Colfax High School getting ready for some girls high school basketball, and this is a big one. The Vikings are taking on the Durand Panthers. A win for the Vikings will put them in a tie for first place with Durand and probably Mondovi as well. Let's send it down to the scorer's table for the starting lineups. So the lineup again for Durand, we have Sand, Kilbottom, Sibalko, Carruthers, and Hurlburt. And for the Vikings, it's Olson, Bradford, Harmon, Barstead, and Paulus leading the way for the Vikings. Dan, the Viking girls have got to find a way to neutralize McKenna Hurlburt and take the shooting away from Kilbottom and Sibalko.
Durand 4-1 already, so Colfax got their work cut out, but they do good ball movement, and they can get some outside shots, and we'll see if we can get some points ahead here.
Well, Durand's going to inbound the ball, and we have Carruthers getting ready to toss it in. She'll be inbounding. It looks like she's going to go to Sibalko with it right away, and she does. And Sibalko brings it across the timeline, feeds it over to the right side to Carruthers. Down into the corner to Sand, or check that, that's Kilbottom. Now to Sand, high, wide, and left. Tries to feed it into the lane. Ball taken away by Olson, and she brings it down the floor for the Vikings. Setting up very high, feeding it over to the left side to Bradford. Now at the top of the key to Paulus. Paulus gets it into the lane to Barstead. Barstead with a shot. It goes up off the rim, and rebound taken down by Durand. Coming down the floor is Sibalko. Across the timeline. Gets it over to Carruthers. Down low to Hurlburt. She puts it up. No good. Olson with the rebound. Coming down the floor quickly. She's on the right side. Takes it all the way down to the baseline. Kicks it back out to Paulus. To Barstead at the top of the key. Back over to Olson on the right side from three. And it's good! She called the bank, got the loan, and it went in for three. 3-0. Vikings on top. Sibalko brings it down the floor for Durand. Gets it over to Kilbottom. Now they got it back out high to Carruthers. Over to Sibalko. Now Kilbottom. Gets it to Hurlburt underneath. Loses the handle, but Sibalko chases it down. Over to Carruthers. Out between the circles. Back to Sibalko on the left side. To Hurlburt. Gets it back out to Sibalko. Puts it up from three, and she hit it. Leah Sibalko with a three-pointer. And we're tied at 3. Olson with it, feeds it to Barstead. Barstead quickly down the floor, feeds it off to Bradford. Now out to Harmon. Harmon puts up the three. It's no good. Rebound taken down by Hurlburt, and down the floor comes Durand very quickly. They get it to Sand. Sand tries to get into Hurlburt, but that pass is picked off. Paulus with the interception. Gets it to Olson, who feeds it down to Harmon in the right corner. She gets it back out high to Bradford. Over to Olson. She dribbles out between the circles. To Harmon on the left side. Now to Paulus at the top of the key. Back over to Barstead down on the left baseline. Out to Harmon. To Paulus. She's out high with it. Over to Barstead on the left side. Free throw line extended to Olson at the top of the key. She puts up the shot. They're saying no because a foul on the floor by Paulus before the shot went off. And so Durand comes down the floor with it. Sibalko with it. And she takes it across the timeline. Gets it over to Kilbottom. They get it down to Carruthers on the left side. She takes it back out high to Sabalko. Over to Kilbottom on the right. Now back out to Sanded on the left. She puts it up, no good. Rebound being chased down by Durand, but she doesn't get there in time. Out of bounds, and the Vikings have it. Carruthers gave it a good run, but just like a step behind it. So the Vikings bring it in. Full court pressure being put on by Durand. Olsen has it in the backcourt. Passes into the forecourt to Barstead. Back to Olsen. She's standing in the center circle. Feeds it over to the right side to Harmon. Now to Barstead. From high wide and left, and she put it in. Barstead with the three. Vikings on top, 6-3. And here comes Durand down the floor. Sabalko with it. She's out between the circles. Tries to feed it down low to Hurlbert. She puts it up and got fouled on the way up. Does not make the shot. I think it's probably Paulus, but I'm not sure. It is. That's going to be Paulus's second personal. Second team foul on the Vikings. Hurlbert's first shot is on the way. No good. And we have 4 in, 4 out for the Vikings. The only one who stayed in is Barstead. Hurlbert's second shot on the way, off the front of the iron, no good. Bertram Schofield chases it down, gets it over to Barstead. They feed it over to Shipman, who then gets it to Bertram Schofield. And then the shot from Parker from the left side is no good. Rebound taken down by Durand. Sabalko brings it down the floor, gets it over to Kilbottom. On the left side, Carruthers with it, gets cross-court pass. Now Sabalko has it on the right. Drives towards the lane, now kicks it out to Carruthers, puts up a three, she hit the three-pointer. And we are tied at 6. Barstead inbounds it to Bovey, back to Barstead. Full court pressure being put on, and they threw it a little bit too far, and catching it but stepping it on the sidelines at the same time was Sand, so the Vikings will get the ball in the forecourt. Bertram Schofield to inbound it, gets it in to Bovey. Bovey on the right, cross-court pass over to Parker. Back to Bertram Schofield, drives down the right side, puts up the jumper, no good. Rebound taken down by Barstead, and she tosses it off the leg of Hurlbert, and it's out of bounds, Vikings ball. Good play by Barstead. She did not have any balance. There was nowhere she could go with it except to bounce it off of Hurlbert. So the Vikings have it on the left side. Bovey with it. Now at the top of the key, gets it over to Barstead. Now across to Parker on the left. To Bertram Schofield, back out high to Barstead, to Bovey. Down underneath the Parker, and she puts it up, and the shot got blocked by Hurlbert. And here comes Durand. Down the floor, this is Sand with it on the left side. Feeds it out to Sabalko. Out between the circles to Kilbottom. Now to Carruthers on the right side. Cross-court pass over to Sabalko. Now to Carruthers on the right, cross-court over to Sand on the left, three-pointer on the way, rattles around, no, it doesn't go. And here come the Vikings with it. Bovey with it across the timeline. Takes it over to the right side. Looking for some help, got it from Bertram Schofield. And we have a foul being called on Durand. The foul's gonna be on Sabalko. That's her first personal, first team foul. 12:26 remaining in half number 1. We're all tied at 6. Emily Bertram Schofield to inbound it for the Vikings. Gets it into Bovey. Bovey with it between the circles. Now takes it down the right side, down to the baseline. Looks to go to the hole with it. And we have a blocking foul being called on Durand. And Julia Bovey is going to go to the line for 2. Bovey's first shot is on the way, and it's good. Vikings back up on top. Olsen into the lineup for Barstead. Second shot by Bovey, it's also good. So the Vikings are up by 2, 8-6. And here comes Durand down the floor. Near the timeline is Sand, or check that wasn't Sand, that was Weiss. They get it over to Oth, and she couldn't hold it, and the ball gets loose into the backcourt, and we have an over and back being called, and a timeout on the floor. With 12:04 to go in half number one is Vikings 8, Durand 4, or Durand 6. You're tuned to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Are your animals feeling a little under the weather? Give the nice folks at Colfax Animal Hospital a call. Bruce Buckley is just what the doctor ordered. In fact, he is the doctor, and he's ready to help. That's the Colfax Animal Hospital. Give them a call at 715-962-3380.
And we're back here at Colfax High School as the Vikings are getting ready to inbound the ball after the over and back turnover. And they get it in to Shipman. Shipman trying to get the pass to Noel, and it gets knocked away, and Durand comes away with it. They get it over to the right side. That's Weiss with it, down in the right corner. She gets it out to Oth. Over to Kilbottom, who feeds it over to Bauer. Back down to Kilbottom in the right corner. They work it around the perimeter. Underneath the Hurlburt. Tries to work her way in. Puts it up. No good. Rebound taken down by Emily Bertram-Schofield. And here come the Vikings down the floor. Bovey with it. Back to Bertram-Schofield. Drives into the lane. Tries to put the shot up. And it's partially blocked but out of bounds. Off of Durand, and the Vikings will retain possession. Shipman is out, and Barstead is back in for the Vikings. Olsen trying to get it in. She gets it into Barstead, who laid it up and in. Vikings up by 4, 10-6. Here comes Durand down the floor. And they kick it back out to the outside. This is Oth. They get it over to Bauer. Bauer drives to the lane, kicks it back out high. Oth has it on the right side. Over to Bauer, back out to Oth. Back to Bauer, down in the right corner. She brings it out to Carruthers, and she put the three up and in. Cuts the Viking lead to 1, 10-9. Down the floor comes Bovey. Now she backs up after she got down to about the free throw line and got some feet tangled up. And we're going to get a foul called. And Bovey is not moving any too well. So she comes off the floor. We did have a foul called on Addison Weiss. That's her first personal. Third team foul on the Panthers. Vikings inbound it. Barstead has it. She takes it down the left side. Feeds it out into the left corner. The shot from three, and she hit it. That's Marissa Harmon with a three-pointer. And down the floor come the Panthers. It's Oth with the three, puts it up, no good. Rebound chased down by Barstead, gets it to Olsen, who brings it up across the timeline. Olsen drives down the right side, gets it off to Barstead, back out high. She feeds it over to Olsen on the right side, tries to get it over to Bertram-Schofield, and missed connection. Ball goes into the backcourt, and we have an over and back being called against the Vikings. 4-point lead for the Vikings, 13-9. Carruthers has it, feeds it down into the corner. Now they get it out high and then try to feed it down low again to Carruthers, and she loses the handle, and it goes out of bounds. Vikings will have it. Emily Bertram Schofield the inbound. Durand putting on full court pressure. Harmon with it. Gets it over to Olsen. Olsen back over to Harmon. Harmon feeds it into the forecourt to Barstead. Feeds it down underneath. Shot goes up by Bradford. It's no good. We have a rebound, and we got a foul underneath. And it falls on Olsen on the rebound. Her first personal, third team foul on the Vikings. So Weiss has it as she brings it down across the timeline for Durand. Over to Sand on the right side. Sand drives it out to the free throw line. Gets it out to Bauer. Bauer over to Weiss on the left. To Carruthers at the top of the key. Now she gets it over to Oth. Now back out to Bauer. To Sand, drives to the baseline, turns around, kicks it back out to Bauer, puts up the three, off the back of the iron. Ball's rebounded by Barstead, and we have a whistle and a foul being called on that rebound. And that foul's gonna be on Bauer. Fourth team foul on Durand. That's the first personal on Bauer. Olsen with it. She gets it over to Harmon. Gets it up near the timeline under a lot of pressure. Trying to get it across, and Vikings all of a sudden having a hard time handling that pressure.
Yeah, one thing Coach always tells you is don't pick up your dribble until you find an open person. Harmon got in trouble.
So Durand drives the baseline, puts the shot up, and it's a clean block by Barstead. That was Oth driving the baseline. Barstead went up and slapped it away, and the Vikings come away with the ball. Olsen gets it out to Harmon. Back over to Olsen. Nope, get it to Bradford. Now out to Barstead between the circles. And we have a hole down underneath. And it's a holding foul being called on Madison Sand of Durand. That's the fifth team foul on Durand. It's Sand's first personal. Vikings ball under their own basket. Harmon gets it into Paulus. Paulus takes a dribble, puts it up, no good. Rebound being battled for. And Durand comes away with it.
Travel.
And we have a timeout being called by Durand. Otherwise, she was going to travel. So with a timeout on the floor, 8:05 to go in the first half. Vikings 13, Durand 9. You're tuned to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
As you check names off your gift-giving list, Derry State Bank encourages you to shop local as much as possible. The reasons are countless. For example, local businesses create 2 out of every 3 new jobs in the U.S. each year. There are times you could save a few cents by ordering online, but when you shop at a local store, you could be saving your community. Shop local for the holidays. It's more important than ever. Derry State Bank. Banking on relationships. Member FDIC.
Derry State Bank.
Back here at Colfax High School. Vikings on top of Durand by a score of 13-9. Durand to inbound the ball. Sand going to inbound it. And the ball gets taken away by Olsen. She's got it at the free throw line. Gets it out to Paulus. Back over to Olsen between the circles. To Harmon on the left side. Feeds it down low to Paulus. Turnaround jumper. Just a little bit short. Ball gets tipped around, goes out of bounds. It was off of Olsen. She knew it. She was a little frustrated that she couldn't get a handle on it. So Durand has it. They get it into Kilbottom. And then over to Carruthers. Now out to Bauer between the circles. Back over to Carruthers on the left side. To Sand. Then they get it to Carruthers, who drives into the lane. We have a foul being called underneath. And that's a foul on Jasmine Paulus. That's her third personal, fourth team foul on the Vikings. First shot is up and good by Kilbottom. 13-10, Vikings up by 3. Paulus is out. Parker is in. Also, Shipman is in. And Emily Bertram Schofield is out. Second shot is on its way. It's also good. Vikings to inbound. Olsen has it in the backcourt. Takes it up across the timeline quickly. Gets it over into the right corner to Shipman. Puts up the shot. It's no good. Rebound taken down by Durand. Here they come down the floor. Sand has it, high, wide, and right. Gets a cross-court pass over to Carruthers. Now out to Sibalko between the circles. Over to Sand on the right. Now to Kilbottom on the right side. Back out to Sibalko. To Hurlburt. Turnaround jumper is good in the lane. When she gets her mind to it, there's not much you're going to do about that. And we have a foul being called on, looks like on Sand, as Harmon was trying to bring it down the floor. That's the second foul on Sand. It's also the sixth foul on Durand. So from here on, the Vikings will be in the bonus. Long pass down the floor. Olsen's got it, lays it up, and it's in! Like Aaron Rodgers does on Sunday, that's Barstead to Olsen. And down the floor comes Durand. Cross-court pass over to Kilbottom, three-pointer, and it's in. Rattled around, and then went down, and Durand takes a one-point lead. Olsen has it across the timeline. Turns around at the free throw line, gets it over to Parker. Feeds it over to Barstead. Now to Harmon. Back to Olsen at the free throw line. Gets it out to Barstead. Now to Parker. Parker drives down to the left baseline. Turns around. Comes back out to Barstead. Barstead in the lane. She's tied up in the lane. Trying to get up there. Calling a jump ball. Possession arrow in favor of the Vikings. 6:04 to go in half number 1. Harmon to inbound it. They try to get it into Shipman, and we have a whistle. Harmon still trying to look for someone to go. Gets it into Barstead. In the left corner. She gets it out to Olsen, high, wide, and left. Feeding it down, and it got tipped, but Barstead came away with it. Barstead over to Parker. Three-pointer, and she hit it! Riley Parker with a three-pointer, 18-16, Vikings up by 2. Here comes Kilbottom down the floor. Feeds it over to Auth. Now to Carruthers in the right corner. Back out to Kilbottom. Now, they try to get it down underneath to Hurlburt, and she can't control it, and Olsen comes away with it. Olsen at the top of the key, gets to the free throw line, dishes it off to Barstead. Barstead drives down the lane, lays it up, and puts it in. 20-16, Vikings up by 4. 5:13 to go in the first half. Here comes Durand down the floor. And it's Auth. And we have a whistle and a foul. And I think they're going to get Olsen with it. Nope. My mistake. Foul is on Shipman. That's her first personal. 15 foul on the Vikings. Bauer inbounds it to Hurlburt. They get it out to Carruthers. Cross-court pass over to Auth. Feeds it down underneath to Hurlburt. Turns around, puts it up. It's no good. And the ball went off of Durand. It's out of bounds. Viking ball. Barstead to inbound for the Vikings. Full court press is still being put on by Durand. She gets it into Olsen. Olsen starts her dribble, gets it across the timeline, takes it down the lane, feeds it out to Parker, puts up a three, no. Rebound taken down by Durand. We have a whistle.
Got laundry on the court. Oh, we got to switch mask, apparently.
We had a loose mask on the floor, I think.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Okay. Off with it. She drives into the lane, puts it up, no good. Rebound being tipped around. Hurlburt comes away with it. Turnaround, puts it up, no good. Rebound taken, chased down by the Vikings. Here comes Barstead. She holds up, but she dragged that pivot foot when she tried to hold it up. We have some substitution for the Vikings. Noel coming into the lineup for Parker. 4:21 to go in the first half. Vikings up by 4. Here comes Durand down across the timeline. Carruthers with it. Feeds it over to the right side. Now they get it back out high to Bauer. Now to Carruthers on the left. Carruthers feeds it into the lane to Bauer. Tries to put it up. No good with the shot, but we do have a whistle and a foul. And this one's on Olsen. That'll be her second personal. 6th-team foul on the Vikings. So both teams will be in the bonus. First shot on the way is good by Bauer. Olsen takes a seat as Bertram Schofield comes in for her. And Bradford is coming in for Harmon. And here comes Bauer's second shot. It's on the way. Off the back of the iron, no good. Rebound taken down by Durand. Shot goes up, it's no good. Noel brings down the rebound, and they get it over to Bertram Schofield, brings it across the timeline. She takes it over to the right side, feeds it to Bradford. Now over to Shipman. Out high to Noel. She's between the circles. Gets it over to Barstead on the right. She's high, wide, and right. Now further free throw line extended to the right to Bradford. Now to Noel. They keep working for the open shot. To Shipman. Ball gets knocked out of bounds. It's going to be Viking ball. That ball went off of Carruthers. Vikings up by 3. 20-17. Ball comes into Emily Bertram Schofield. She takes it down the left side, stops before she gets to the lane. Kicks it out, three-pointer is up, no good. Rebound being chased around down underneath. Hurlburt comes away with it, feeds it ahead to Kilbottom, lays it up, and the shot is no good, but we're going to get a foul on Emily Bertram Schofield, I think. No, it's not. The foul's on Shipman. That'll be Shipman's second personal. First shot is no good by Kilbottom. Now her second shot. It's on its way, it's good. 20-18, Vikings on top. Harmon has it in the backcourt. Trying to bring it up, gets it over to Bertram Schofield, takes it into the forecourt. Down the right side. Turns around, takes it back out between the circles. Gets it over to Noel. Noel feeds it over to Barstead. Barstead high, wide, and left. And we have a timeout being called by the Vikings. 2:51 to go in the first half. Vikings 18. Vikings 20, Durand 18, and you are tuned to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Anderson Bridges, located in Colfax, Wisconsin, has been manufacturing prefabricated steel truss bridges since 1989. With hundreds of bridges supplied nationwide, we suspect you've crossed our path. It may have been on a pedestrian or bicycle bridge, or how about a snowmobile, ATV, or golf course bridge? Anderson Bridges is likely to have manufactured it. Founded in 1989, Anderson Bridges has been a family-owned company since its beginning and are proud to support the Colfax Vikings.
And we're back here at Colfax High School. Rick Olson along with Dan Petchow. Vikings have the ball. They have a 2-point lead, and Harmon has it between the circles. Feeds it over to the right side to Bradford. Get it back over to Bertram Schofield. Back to Harmon on the left. Back to Bertram Schofield between the circles. To Bradford on the right. Back out high, now over to Harmon on the left. Bradford on the right, cross court pass to Harmon down in the left corner. Gets it out to Barstead. High, wide, and left, back to Harmon. Now to Bertram Schofield between the circles. They feed it to Knoll in the lane. She kicks it out to Bradford, puts up the 3. Bounces high, bounces twice, it goes in! Bailey Bradford with a 3-pointer, 23-18. Vikings up by 5. It's their biggest lead of the half. Oth has it. Feeds it out to Bauer. Cross-court pass over to Carruthers. She's on the left side. Takes it out to the free throw line. Gets it out to Kilbottom. Takes it down the right side. Now back out to Oth, then to Carruthers. Puts up the 3. No, it doesn't go. And the Vikings come away with it. Bradford brings it down the floor. Minute 34 to go in the first half. Emily Bertram Schofield over to Harmon, puts up the 3. No, it doesn't go, and we have evidently it went out of bounds. Substitutes are in for Durand. Coming down the floor is Carruthers with it. Minute 20 to go. Carruthers at the top of the key. Gets it over to Hurlburt. Then to Kilbottom, Hurlburt. Then they get it to Hurlburt. Tries to drive the baseline. Does not get it to go down. And here come the Vikings down the floor. Emily Bertram Schofield with it at the top of the key. Drives down the left side of the lane. Kicks it out to Barstead. Barstead out in the left corner. Turns around. Dribbles it out to the free throw line. Puts up the shot. Bounces high and down through the hoop. They're getting the shooter's roll tonight, Dan. 25-18. Vikings up by 7. And we have a whistle.
Stepped on the line.
And that's another turnover by Durand. So Vikings will have it. Stepping on the sideline usually doesn't work, does it?
There's always rules.
Vikings get it in to Bradford. Gets it down to Emily Bertram Schofield to Olson, who lays it up, and she overlaid it. And here comes Durand down the floor. They get it to Bauer at the top of the key. Over to the left side. That was Weiss. Now to Bauer on the left side. Out high to Carruthers. To Weiss, high, wide, and right. Over to Bauer. She drives the lane, lays it up, and it goes in. 25-20 with 8 seconds to go. Olson's got it. She takes it across the timeline. Launches a long 3. Rims around. No, it doesn't go. And we have the horn to mark the end of the first half with the score. The Vikings 25 and Durand 20. We have Viking halftime coming up right after this brief timeout. You're tuned to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
You're tuned to the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. We use advertising revenue to make this service available to you. If you have a business and would like to get your message out to our ever-increasing audience, give us a call at 715-563-1749. We'll be happy to discuss our budget-friendly advertising packages with you. Get your business noticed on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV by calling 715-563-1749.
Time now for Viking Halftime with this week's edition of Viking Profile and the Colfax High School Report. That's all coming up following this brief timeout.
So, I just moved in with this family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that! That's disgusting! Oh, poop already! You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
Time now for Viking Profile, where we take a closer look at one of the Colfax Viking players. And now, Viking Profile.
Today on Viking Profile, we're going to get to know Riley Parker, a senior here at Colfax High School. We'll be chatting with Riley right after this message.
If you love them enough to relearn math so you can teach them math, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're correctly buckled in the back seat.
We're talking with Riley Parker on Viking Profile. And Riley, we know that you play basketball, but are you involved in any other activities at school?
I am in volleyball and I do FFA outside.
Okay. Now, when did you start playing basketball, and what kind of experience have you had?
Third grade, and it's been a lot throughout, like, because of the different and stuff.
You know, and it's not worth doing if it's not going to be something you can enjoy. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's the most important thing that you've learned from playing basketball?
The team, and to know the only one to like individual.
It's kind of like that, you know, it's not all about you, right?
Oh.
So when you're not playing basketball or you're not here at school, what are some other things that keep you interested or occupied?
I'm usually with my niece. She just turned 30, so it's kind of fun being with her. Or I just
That's a fun age. Yeah, that'll keep you pretty busy, won't it?
Yeah.
All right, here's a few rapid fire questions for you. Just say the first thing that pops into your head. Pie, ice cream, cake, or cookies?
Cake.
Any particular kind?
Okay.
And your favorite color and why?
Purple because of, like, I don't know, it's purple, so I don't really have a reasoning.
Okay. Now, if you could have a superpower, what would it be and why would that be?
Probably mine, because I like to see what other people are thinking.
Okay, you said it would probably be what?
Like reading minds.
Oh, reading minds. Okay. All right. Yeah, we have a little bit of an audio breakup, and so we're trying here. Okay, do you have a favorite NBA or WNBA team?
Not really.
Okay, how about a favorite college team?
Probably Texas A&M.
Okay, is there a reason why Texas A&M?
Well, my family on there, so I kind of like go to school there.
Okay. We're talking with Riley Parker here on Viking Profile, and Riley, you kind of hinted at it. What are your plans for after high school?
I want to radiology and like for the best.
Okay. And how about a shout out to your family?
Oh, hi, Mad. My sister, the little girl and boys that are around.
Okay. So when people watch you in Viking games here on NLWN-TV, what number do you wear and what position do you play?
I'm 44 and center.
Okay. Hey, we want to thank Riley Parker for joining us today on Viking Profile. Coming up next is more Viking Halftime.
You've been listening to Viking Profile. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
Did you know dragging chains can spark a wildfire?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Time now for the Colfax High School report with an update about what's happening at Colfax High School.
Colfax Viking Athletics continues with the boys and girls basketball teams. The girls Viking basketball team went 1-0 last week as they moved their season record to 2 wins and 2 losses with a 49-43 victory over Glenwood City. The Viking girls are currently 2 wins and 1 loss in the Dunn St. Croix Conference. The Viking boys went 1-1 last week with a season opening loss to Somerset 76-44 and then a 61-52 victory over Glenwood City. That puts the Viking boys at 1-0 in the Dunn St. Croix Conference. Now, coming up this week, the Viking boys will host the Mondovi Buffaloes on Thursday, December 17th, and travel to Turtle Lake to take on the Lakers on Saturday, the 19th. We will carry both of those games on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV, with Viking pregame beginning on Thursday at 6:55 p.m., and live play-by-play at 7:10. On Saturday, the Viking pregame will begin at 5:40 p.m. and live play-by-play at 5:55 p.m. That's a little different time because it's on a Saturday. The Viking girls will host Durand on Friday, December 18th. We will have that girls game on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and on NLWN-TV with Viking pregame at 5:55 and live play-by-play action beginning at 6:10 p.m. Notice that is also a time change. Viking pregame again at 5:55 and live play-by-play at 6:10 on Friday. Now, coming up next week, the Viking girls will host the Fall Creek Crickets on Monday the 21st, and the Viking boys will make up their game with Elmwood Plum City Wolves on Tuesday the 22nd. We will carry both of those games on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. In addition, Colfax will begin its annual holiday break beginning on Wednesday, December 23rd. School will resume on Monday, January 4th. And that's what's happening at Colfax High School for the week of December 14th through the 19th.
You've been tuned to the Colfax High School report with an update about what's happening at Colfax High School. Stay tuned. Coming up next is more Viking halftime and then second half action.
You've been tuned to Viking Halftime. Stay tuned. Coming up is second half action of today's Viking game on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
And Rick Olson with Dan Petschow back here at Colfax High School. Dan, that was a heck of a first half. Vikings up by 5.
Yeah, good battle between the two teams. Right now, Durand's leader in scores is number 12, Madison Kilbot, and she's got 6. And for Colfax Vikings, their leading scores 22, Maddie Barstead with 9.
And a lot of contribution by the Vikings, a lot of very tough defensive play. One of the things that we noticed during Viking halftime, we were talking about a little bit, is the play they've done with Hurlburt, and Hurlburt doesn't have a moment where there's not somebody in her face.
Yeah, good job by Colfax to triple team her and keep Hurlburt out of the baseline.
And Durand inbounds the ball. Carruthers with it, gets it out high to Hurlburt. They feed it over to the left side, driving it down, putting it up, and no good. The shot was by Sibelko, and the Vikings come down with Olsen taking it through the center circle. Feeds it over to the right side to Harmon. Cross-court pack back over to Olsen. Drives down the baseline, tries to put up a shot, and they're going to call Olsen with an offensive foul. That'll be her third personal. First team foul on the Vikings this half.
I got a little bone to pick with that one.
What's that?
I said I got a little bone to pick with that foul. Drangro was too far down on the baseline. Addie caught her from the side. Should have been a blocking foul.
All right, Durand comes across the timeline. They drive the baseline, put up the shot. Kilbotton put up the shot. It was no good. And Bertram Schofield comes down the floor. Bradford, to Paulus, out to Barstead, into the lane to Harmon, lays it up, it doesn't go in, and down with the ball comes Durand. Across the timeline, over to Sand on the right. Cross-court pass to the left to Carruthers. She puts up a shot, it's a little short, off the iron, out of bounds, and Viking ball. Barstead to inbound. Durand's going to put on some pressure. They inbound it to Bertram Schofield, over to Harmon. Harmon feeds it over to Bertram Schofield, gets it across the timeline. Over to Barstead, launches a three, she hit it! Maddie Barstead with a three-pointer, 28-20. Vikings on top. And here comes Durand down the court. Sibelko with it, gets it over to Sand. To Carruthers, to Sibelko from the left side. Three-pointer, no good. Rebound taken down by Paulus. Vikings holding their own on the boards tonight. Gets it off to Bertram Schofield. Takes it down the left side of the lane. Kicks it out to Bradford. To Barstead on the right side. Down into the right corner to Harmon. Harmon dribbles it out. Gets it to Barstead in the right corner. Feeds it to Bertram Schofield. Lays it up, no good. Rebound taken down by Durand. They feed it down the floor to Kilbotton. Kilbotton takes it into the lane, kicks it out to Sibelko, and we have a shove as Sibelko went into the lane. Let's see, Bertram Schofield committing the foul, second personal against the Vikings. That's Emily's first personal. Sibelko to inbound it, gets it in to Hurlburt, tries to put up a shot, it's partially blocked. Ball rolls out and the Panthers pick it up. Sibelko with it on the right side, gets it down to Sand. Gets it out high to Carruthers, over to Sibelko. Down to Sand on the right side. Drives to the lane. Kicks it out high to Sibelko, puts up the three, rattles in and rattles back out again. And here come the Vikings down the floor. Bertram Schofield takes it across the timeline. Drives down to the lane, kicks it down to the left baseline to Paulus, over to Bertram Schofield, back out high to Barstead. Barstead to Bertram Schofield, into the lane, turnaround jumper, puts it up and in. Emily Bertram Schofield with a shot. Vikings up by 10. And down the floor come the Durand Panthers. Carruthers with it on the right side. Drives into the lane, puts it up, overlays it. Vikings have the ball. Bradford with the rebound, gets it over to Barstead. Barstead down the right side. Hesitation step, passes it back out high to Harmon. Harmon to the lane, now kicks it out to Bradford, who lays in a three. She nailed a three from the right corner. 33-20, Vikings up by 13. 14:26 to go. Sand with it. Free throw line extended right. Now feeds it into the lane. Tried to get it to Hurlburt. And Paulus got her hand in there. Took the ball away. Gets it to Barstead. Down to Bradford underneath. Feeds it out to Harmon. Over to Bertram Schofield at the top of the key. Drives into the lane. Lays it up. Off the iron. No good. Rebound coming away by Durand. Kilbotton drives down. We have a whistle and a hand check being called on Emily Bertram Schofield, I believe. She did not like that call. She's not sure exactly what she did. Parker into the lineup for the Vikings, replacing Paulus. By the way, that's the second foul on Bertram Schofield, third on the Vikings. Shipman into the lineup for the Vikings. For Bradford. And we have a 5-second violation on Durand. It took him more than 5 seconds to get the ball in, and the Vikings force another turnover. Barstead inbounds it to Harmon. Harmon with a turnaround dribble. Gets it over to Bertram Schofield, still in the backcourt. Back over to Harmon in the forecourt. Feeds it down low to Shipman. Gets it back out to Barstead, to Bertram Schofield. Now to Harmon, over on the right side is Shipman. Feeds it into the lane, and nobody there except purple jerseys for Durand. Coming down the floor is Sabalco. Feeds it over to Kilbottom. Now back out to Auth, to Bauer on the right side. Out to Kilbottom. And then to Pickering. Now they get it out to Bauer. To Sabalco. To Auth. Now across to Sabalco, puts up the three, and she hit it. From the free throw line, extended to the right, just outside the arc. She hit the three, 33-23. Vikings up by 10. Emily Bertram Schofield through the center circle, stops at the free throw line, feeds it down into the right corner to Harmon. Back over to Bertram Schofield. Turnaround jumper in the lane, no good. Rebound taken down by Durand. Sabalco feeds it down to Kilbottom. On the right side, drives the baseline, lays it up. It does not go in. Harmon takes the rebound. Comes down the floor for the Vikings. Takes it across the timeline, right through the center circle, over to Emily Bertram Schofield on the left. Now she takes it down between the circles. Drives into the lane. Feeds it down low, and the ball gets knocked away and taken away by Durand. Kilbottom with it, high, wide end, left. They get it over to Sabalco, and Sabalco hits a three from the right side. 33-26. And we have a timeout on the floor by the Vikings. 11:51 to go in the game. Vikings 33, Durand 26. You are tuned to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made her college years happen. Opening that education savings account when she was little. Spearheading a campus tour. And another, and another, and another, and another. Bam! Deciphering financial aid. She was like, what? But now she's like, you aced planning for college. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
Rick Olson along with Dan Petchow at Colfax High School. Vikings up by 7, 33-26. Olson with it in the backcourt. Brings it down to the center circle. Now she goes across the timeline. She's double teamed out high. Takes it down to the right side. They feed it into the lane. Ball gets knocked around, and they're going to get Knoll for a double dribble. I think she thought it got knocked out of her hands, but the officials say nope. And Durand has it. Down the floor come the Panthers. They get it over to Pickering and then down into the corner to Weiss. Out high to Sabalco. Sabalco passes over to the right side to Bauer. Cross court pass over to Weiss. Weiss drives to the free throw line, kicks it back out to Bauer, to Sabalco at the top of the key. To Pickering from three. It bounces off the iron, no good. Rebound taken down by Barstead to Olson coming across the timeline. They feed it over to the right side to Shipman. Shipman drives into the lane, lays it up. No, it won't go. Olson with the rebound, though. Gets it out to Bertram Schofield, puts up a three. No, that one's off. Olson with the putback, and it goes in. 35-26. Addison Olson with the garbage shot that time, but you know what? We'll take it. Bauer with it on the left side, feeds it over to Sand, drives through the lane, puts it up, and it goes in. 35-28, Vikings up by 7. Olson has it. Gets it back over to Barstead. They're still in the backcourt. Full court pressure being put on by Durand. They've been in that all night. Barstead into the forecourt between the circles. Gets it over to Shipman, drives into the lane. She lays it up, and she got fouled on the way to the basket. Fouled by Sand. That'll be the first team foul on Durand this half. So Shipman at the line, shooting 2. First shot on its way, and it's good. And Shipman waiting for the ball for her second shot. Second shot on its way, it's also good. 37-28, Vikings up by 9. We have a substitute coming in for Emily Bertram Schofield. Harmon comes into the lineup. Sabalco brings it down the floor, through the center circle, over to Sand on the left side. Back out high to Weiss. Over to Kilbottom, to Sand down in the left corner. Cross-court pass over to Weiss in the right corner. She dribbles it out high to Sabalco at the top of the key. Takes a shot from 3. It's no good, and Olson comes away with the ball. Across the timeline, at the top of the key. Feeds it over to Paulus. Gets it out to Shipman. Puts up a shot and puts it in. 39-28, Vikings by 11. Here comes Durand back down the floor. Kilbottom feeds it down to Sand. Sand to Weiss. Weiss trying to find the handle on the ball. Now she's triple teamed, and we have a jump ball being called. Paulus got her hands in there, got her hands on the ball. Bradford into the lineup. Paulus takes a seat, but she's getting a lot of happy slaps over there as she heads towards the bench. Some good aggressive play by the Vikings. Olson with it, quickly turns across the timeline, feeds it down to Shipman, puts up a jumper from outside the lane, and she hit it. 41-28. Vikings back up to 13-point lead. Down the floor comes Durand. Sand with it in the right corner, feeds it in toward the lane. And we have a travel being called on Kilbottom. She dragged that pivot foot. She tried to make a move to her right, then tried to come back to the left, and then back to the right, and that pivot foot moved. 8:54 to go. Olson with it in the backcourt. Fakes the handoff, a little bit of a play-action pass here. Olson takes it into the forecourt herself. And the ball got knocked out of Olson's hand, but it goes out of bounds off of Durand. So the Vikings will maintain possession. Pass intended for Olson, but they miscommunicated. Ball picked up by Carruthers, and she lays it up and in. 41-30. Viking lead cut to 11. Harmon with it, gets it over to Olson, and we have a timeout on the floor. Timeout called by the Vikings with 8:31 to go in the game. Vikings on top, 41-30. You're tuned to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Are your pooch's proportions putting on pounds? Or is your kitty's constitution constantly complaining? Well, stop by and see the friendly folks at the Colfax Animal Hospital. Dr. Bruce Buckley and his staff will be happy to help you get your family friend back on the road to healthy living. That's the Colfax Animal Hospital. Call them at 715-962-3380.
Rick Olson along with Dan Petschow, and we're back here at Colfax High School. Vikings on top of the Durand Panthers by a score of 41-30. Vikings have the ball. Harmon looking to inbound it. Gets it into Olsen in the backcourt. Quickly into the forecourt. Feeds it out to Barstead. Over to Bradford between the circles. To Harmon on the right side. Feeds it to Olsen, cutting the lane. Gets the ball back out to Shipman. Three-pointer on the way. It's short, but Bradford gets the loose change and puts it up and in. Bailey Bradford with another big one. 8 points for her on the night. 43-30. Vikings with the lead. Short shot going up by Auth is no good, and the Vikings bring it back down the floor. Olsen takes it across the timeline. Feeds it over to Shipman. Puts up a three, and she hit a long three. McKenna Shipman with a three-pointer. 9 points for her tonight. 46-30. Vikings on top. Sand with it. Drives into the lane. Puts the shot up. It's no good. Rebound tipped around, and the Vikings come away with it. Olsen to bring it down the floor. Through the center circle. On the right side. Gets it over to Shipman. Shipman down toward that right corner. Back out high to Olsen. Cross-court pass over to Harmon on the left. Puts up the three-pointer. Rolls off and no good. Rebound taken down by Durand and down the floor to Sand. On the right side. Now back out to the top of the key with it to Sabalko. Over to Kilbottom. Back over to Auth. Now to Sabalko. High, wide, and right. To Kilbottom in the lane. Turnaround hook shot. No good. She gets her own rebound, but it gets knocked loose. We have a whistle and a foul, and it's going to be on Shipman, I believe. And that's the third foul on Shipman. Fourth foul on the Vikings. And Durand inbounds it. It's off of the foot of Emily Bertram Schofield. And so it'll be Durand ball one more try, and they get it in this time. Kilbottom looked like she was going to pass it out, turned around, drove it to the lane, and put it in the hole. 46-32, Vikings on top by 14. Down the floor comes Emily Bertram Schofield. Feeds it over to Paulus on the right side. They get it over to Shipman. Three-pointer on the way, and she hit the three-pointer.
McKenna Shipman's got the hot hand right now.
That's 12 points for Shipman. Durand has it. This is Sabalko. Over to Auth. Now it's to Carruthers on the left side, and we have a whistle. And foul's going to be on Barstead, her first personal. 15 foul on the Vikings. Durand inbounds it to Bauer. Feeds it out to Carruthers. Carruthers puts up the shot, no good from three. Ball gets tipped around, and they're going to say it was off of Emily Bertram Schofield. And so it'll be Durand ball. And Sabalko to inbound it. Sabalko feeds it into Carruthers. Carruthers tries a jump shot. We have a whistle and a foul.
That'll be a Jasmine Paulus. That's her fourth.
That's the fourth foul on Paulus. It's also the sixth team foul on the Vikings. So Carruthers at the line to shoot two, and after that, Durand will be in the bonus. First shot on the way, and it's good. Hit the back of the iron, the front of the iron, then the backboard, and then down through the net. Parker into the lineup for Paulus for the Vikings. And here's Carruthers with her second shot. It's on the way, and it's good. 49-34. Vikings up by 15. Emily Bertram Schofield gets it over to Barstead. Feeds it across to Parker. Lays it up, can't make it. Second shot goes up that time by Shipman. It does not go in, and Durand comes away with the ball. Vikings missed a couple of bunnies that time. Down the floor comes Carruthers, turnaround jumper, and she lost her balance, and the ball went right into the hands of Barstead. Down the floor come the Vikings with Bertram Schofield on the dribble. She pulls up between the circles, gets it over to the right side to Harmon. Harmon out to Barstead, over to Bertram Schofield. To Parker, drives the baseline, lays it up. Nothing there, but we have a whistle and a foul called. And Kilbottom with the foul, and she's a little worse for wear on that one. I think Parker kind of got the better of that battle. And Riley Parker at the line to shoot 2. Her first shot is on the way, rolls around and off. Second shot. And it's on the way, and it's good. 49-34, Olsen into the lineup for Parker. 50-34, 16-point lead for the Vikings. Down the floor comes Durand. Feed it over to the right side to Sand. Cross court, pass to Sibalko, to Kilbottom. They try to feed it into the lane. It goes off the leg of Barstead, so they call a kicking the ball. You can't do that when you're on defense. So Durand inbounds it. Bauer to Kilbottom. Turns around, drives down the left side, still on the move. Tries to drive to the baseline, and she lays it up and in. She's got to get a lot of credit for that one. That was a lot of traffic that time, and she made it work. Harmon with it. Tries to feed it out to Olsen. We have a collision at midcourt, and they're fighting for it as a jump ball. A pair of 10s that time. I'd bet on that pair of 10s anytime. Sand and Olsen. Durand inbounds it. Weiss has it. Now they get it out high to Kilbottom. Over to Sibalko, back to Kilbottom. High, wide, and right. Takes it into the free throw line. Feeds it out to Weiss. Yes. Now down to Sand. Underneath to Weiss, and she turns around, puts it up and in. Vikings inbound it. 50-38. Vikings up by a dozen. Olsen with it. Feeds it across the timeline to Harmon. Harmon picks up her dribble, and we have a timeout call by the Vikings. So with a timeout on the floor, 3:50 to go in the game. Vikings 50, Durand 38. You're tuned to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
As you check names off your gift-giving list, Derry State Bank encourages you to shop local as much as possible. The reasons are countless. For example, local businesses create 2 out of every 3 new jobs in the U.S. each year. There are times you could save a few cents by ordering online, but when you shop at a local store, you could be saving your community. Shop local for the holidays. It's more important than ever. Derry State Bank. Banking on relationships. Member FDIC.
And we're back here at Colfax High School. And Dan, we've got a heck of a ball game going on tonight.
Yeah, good job by Colfax tonight. They're keeping number 55, McKenna Hurlbert, on the bench. And stepping up as our up-and-comers for Colfax, like McKenna Shipman. She's already in the double digits already. So, yeah, they can keep this up here, keep everybody boxed out, hit their shots, hit the free throws at the end, and we should be able to W in the column.
Well, let's hope they can keep this together for the next 3:50. Inbound it to Olsen in the backcourt. She takes it across the timeline. Hesitation step, moves it over to the left side, hands it off to Bertram Schofield, feeds it over to the right side to Barstead. Barstead directs some traffic, comes around to between the circles. Dribbles it down the left side and then gets it over to Harmon. Harmon to Bertram Schofield. Bertram Schofield on the right. Tries to drive it into the lane, almost lost control, puts it up, no good. Put back shot, no good. Rebound, put back shot by Olsen, and she put it in. That's 9 tonight for Addison Olsen. That's her season high. And down the floor comes Durand. And the pass is a little too hard, but they pick it up on the far side. They get it out to Sibelko, who puts up the three-pointer. It's good, and a timeout called by the Durand Panthers. 52-41, Vikings on top. 3 minutes to go, and you are tuned to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
Don't wait. Communicate. Make your emergency plan today.
And we're back here at Colfax High School. The Vikings with a 52-41, 11-point lead over the Durand Panthers. Vikings inbound the ball. Feed it into Olsen. Back over to Barstead. Barstead brings it up across the timeline. Takes it down the left side, and Durand gets in there and ties up the ball. That's what happens when we get a little too close to the sideline. Possession arrow in the Vikings' favor, so Harmon has it to inbound to Olsen. Tries to get it back out to Harmon. Now they get it back. Out to Barstead between the circles. Barstead stops at the top of the key, gets it to Olsen. Olsen takes it back over to the top of the key, feeds it over to the right side to Shipman. Turns around with it, loses the handle, and we're going to have a foul being called on Addison Olsen, and that was actually a move I saw her father make back when he was in high school. That was a pretty good wrestling move.
I thought it was going to be a jump ball.
That's her fourth personal. And that's going to put Sand at the line. Sand's first shot is on the way. Off the back of the iron, no good. Rebound taken down by Emily Bertram-Schofield. Feeds it off to Olsen as she comes down the floor. Olsen across the timeline. Feeds it over to Bradford. Bradford gets it back out to Bertram-Schofield. Over to Barstead. Feeds it down underneath to Olsen. Olsen lays it up and it goes in. 11 points for Addison Olsen tonight. Down the floor comes Sibelko. Gets it off to Carruthers. Back to Sibelko. Over to Weiss on the right side. Back out to Carruthers out high. We have a whistle and a foul, and I think Olsen's going to end up taking a seat.
No, it's an offensive foul.
Yes, it is an offensive foul. They signaled a 10, and I was not sure which 10 they were talking about. So that's going to be foul number 4 on that 10. Another long pass down to Olsen. Goes off her foot, but she gets it back. Feeds it back out to Bradford. And Bradford dragged the pivot foot. Little bit too much of a stride as she was looking to pass one way and then come back and go the other. So Durand will have it out of bounds on the near side. They get it in Sibelko. She takes it through the center circle. Vikings up by 13. Sibelko at the top of the key. Thought about launching the three. Gets it over to Kilbottom, and the shot is no good. Rebound being fought for on the floor, and we have a timeout being called by Durand with a minute 32 to go. Vikings 54, Durand 41. And I just want to remind you that even though we're in the middle of one heck of a ball game, the next girls game scheduled for Monday against the Fall Creek Crickets. That game's been canceled, or it's going to get made up or something to that effect. So next week, the next girls game that we're going to cover here on the Northern Light Webcasting Network will be on Thursday, January 7th, when the Viking girls travel over to Boyceville to take on the Boyceville Bulldogs. We'll have that game virtually. Viking pregame will be at 6:55. Live play-by-play will be at 7:10. Next boys game tomorrow, Dan. We have the boys are up at Turtle Lake. We'll have more information about that in just a minute, but Durand's about to inbound the ball, and they get it into Sibelko. On the right side, puts up the three, off the front of the iron, no good. Emily Bertram-Schofield with the rebound for the Vikings. Gets it to Harmon. Harmon over to Olsen. Olsen got fouled. It's going to send Olsen nowhere. It's going to be out of bounds. They got a few fouls to give. So Harmon with it. Feeds it to Olsen. Olsen back out to Harmon. Over to the right side to Barstead, and she got fouled right away. So that'll be the 5th foul on Durand. The foul is on Weiss. It's her 2nd personal. Weiss, Dan says. It's Weiss. Vikings inbound it to Bradford. Out to Bertram-Schofield, and she got hugged for a foul. That was a friendly foul.
Yeah, that's 4 fouls on number 22, Leah Sibelko.
So the Vikings will be in the bonus from this point on. They get the ball in to Barstead. The ball got knocked loose and out of bounds, and it'll be Viking ball under their own basket. 54-41, just over a minute to go. Harmon with it, gets it into Olsen, and Olsen got fouled right away by Weiss. And Olsen goes to the line. Olsen's first shot is up. Bounces off the rim, no good, and Durand comes away with the rebound. 1 minute to go in this game. Weiss has it in the corner. Out high to Sand, back over to Weiss. Out to Sibelko. Sibelko drives down the right side of the lane, lays it up, it's no good, and rebound by Barstead, and she gets immediately fouled, so we'll take the long walk down the floor.
I think that's on Sibelko. That'd be your 5th.
And so Sibelko takes a seat. She has 12 points on the night. And Barstead goes up to the line. And Barstead to shoot the 1-and-1. First shot on the way, it's good. So she'll get another one. 55-41. Second shot on the way, and it's also good. 56-41, Vikings up by 15. Down the floor comes Durand. Sand has it. High, wide, and right. Cross-court pass, now back over to Sand on the right side. Back out to Bauer, top of the key. Shot from the free throw line, and it goes in. 56-43, Vikings on top, 30 seconds to go. Pass into Olsen. She feeds it. It's a little bit behind Barstead, but Harmon picks it up and got fouled right away with 24 seconds left on the clock. Harmon goes to the line, shooting the 1-and-1. Want to remind you again about that boys game. That's going to be tomorrow, and Viking pregame will be at 5:40. Live play-by-play at 5:55 from up at Turtle Lake. First shot is off the back of the iron, no good. Rebound by Durand. Down the floor come the Panthers. They get it over to Bauer, to Carruthers. Then driving into the lane is Kilbot, and she lays it up and in. Vikings trying to inbound it. They get it to Olsen. feeds it over and got fouled with about 4 seconds left. She was trying to get it over to Harmon, but got fouled before she did. And that foul is going to be on Weiss. It's a big win tonight for the Vikings. First shot on the way, and it rattles home. That's an even dozen for Addison Olsen. Second shot on the way. Make it a baker's dozen for her. 58-45, Vikings on top. Long shot, rattles around, does not go, and so that's going to be our final score. Vikings 58 and the Durand Panthers 45. And the Vikings have pulled off what could be called an early season upset. Although I think if you talk to any of the Vikings, they wouldn't say so. But I'll tell you what, that was not what was expected tonight.
Yeah, good job by the whole team tonight. They played well as a team, and they all contributed. So good win for Colfax.
Well, I'll tell you what, 58-45, Rick Olson here along with Dan Petchow, and we're going to be back with Viking postgame right after this timeout. You're tuned to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Roll over. Chant high five. All right. When you adopt a shelter pet, you discover all the things that make them unique. And your mother and... I am totally a hot person. Right, guys? Thanks for being honest. They're a little bit of a lot of things, but they're all pure love. Adopt pure love at theshelterpetproject.org.
Thank you for joining us for Colfax Viking Girls Basketball. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. Stay tuned. Coming up next is Viking Post Game, where we'll take a look back at today's Viking game.
Hey world, I have a quick message. It's about safe driving. All right, let's go. Anytime you're driving, have the seatbelt buckled tight. Both hands on the wheel and your phone out of sight. When not in your hand trying to text somebody back. Because if you do, your car might get smacked. The moral of the story, just put your phone down. The people on the road will stay safe and sound. Put your phone down, put your phone down. People on the road will stay safe and sound. Yeah.
Time now for Viking postgame, with a wrap-up of today's Colfax Viking girls game. And now, Viking postgame.
And Rick Olson along with Dan Petchow back here at Colfax High School, and we are getting ready for Viking postgame, and we'll see if Coach Serrar comes up to chat with us. 58-45, Dan, that's a win that, I'll be honest with you, when we were talking about that, Vikings winning was not out of the question, but they were in command of this game pretty much from the get-go.
Yeah, Colfax shut down number 55, McKenna Hrober tonight. She only had 2 points, and they kept her on the bench most of the second half. That's a big plus for Colfax. Plus, Colfax did a good job today gelling together, finding the open shots, and then they hit. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We had 8 girls in scoring tonight for Colfax, so good job, girls.
And a lot of hustle on that floor, tremendous defense being played by the Vikings, and they handled the full court press very nicely tonight, which is something that they had struggled with against Regis. And what a turnaround after that Regis game.
Yeah, Colfax's future, their freshman coming up, like number 42, McKenna Shipman, she's going to be a big piece to the puzzle. She had a good night with 12 points, so if they can keep this up, they should be just fine.
Well, why don't we take a brief time out here, and while we take this time out, we will let you get all your numbers totaled up, and then when we come back, we'll
get you to tell us all about that, and then we'll see if Coach Serrar is going to come up and talk with us tonight. So you're tuned to Viking Postgame on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Okay, Dad. 1, 2, 3. You saved me. Dad?
Are you okay?
I'm fine, dear.
Your hero needs you now, and AARP is here to help. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving.
Honey, what I think you need is a socket wrench.
I played JV basketball.
I'm sorry. I don't think it looks right.
This is good, and it's all good, baby.
Is it really all good?
If you love me enough to routinely test your handyman skills, not to mention the strength of your marriage, then of course you'll visit nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat to make sure I'm in the right car seat.
I'm gonna call my dad.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made home ownership happen. Homeschooling yourself on loans, beefing up your credit score.
So I'm pre-approved.
You were like, yes! Sorry. Color coding listings, ticking boxes, and flushing every toilet in a 20-mile radius. Home sweet home. You aced house hunting. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
And Rick Olson back here with Dan Petchow. And Dan, why don't you fill us in on who did what tonight?
Yeah, here's the scores for the Durand Panthers tonight. They had two girls with leading scorers. We had number 12, Madison.
Yeah, actually, let's take a moment of a timeout there, and because we have Coach Serrar coming up here, and she's smiling tonight. And Coach, congratulations on a big win on tonight's game. That has to be a real pleasant, almost surprise.
Yeah, you know what? I'm not surprised because I've been saying it from the start. I know these girls are capable of playing that well. They're capable of beating anybody on any night. So the ball hasn't dropped for us in the previous games, and I think that was kind of the X factor. But one thing that I love about this team is they come ready to work on the things that we're suggesting they work on, and they always play hard, and they will never give up. And finally, we were just rewarded with everybody was firing on all cylinders tonight. I know Addison was in double figures. I know Maddie had a double-double. McKenna hit some huge shots for us in the second half. And to have three people in double digits, I mean, it just feels great. And even Bailey was close with, 8 points, I think. So, yeah, it just feels really good to just, have them see what it feels like to have everybody going on the same night.
One of the things that I noticed, actually a couple of things that Dan and I were talking about this just a minute ago, that the Viking defense was real tough. Totally shut down McKenna Hurlbert. There was a girl in her face every time she got a hand anywhere near the ball. There was somebody right in her face and just shut her down. And then the other thing that we noticed is one of the things that was your bugaboo against Regis is the girls really struggled against the press. They handled it like it was a piece of chocolate cake tonight.
Yep, and those are the things that we worked on all week in practice. We knew that Durand's tough is really press, and we knew that against Regis we didn't do a great job. So that was something we emphasized in practice this week. And another thing too that we didn't do a great job against Regis is box outs. And the girls did a phenomenal job tonight. Durand would miss a shot, and that would be all they would get. I would be surprised if they had more than 10 offensive rebounds. So.
In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if you guys won the rebound battle tonight.
Oh, I would definitely think so. And I said, if we're going to win big games down the stretch, then that's when it's going to have to take. And we talked about that all week in practice. Was it can't just be 1 through 3. It's got to be all 5 people get a great box out. There were some times when the ball, we did such a great job boxing out, the ball would hit the floor and then we would grab it. So that's how you know that you did a great job keeping them out of the lane. And yeah, I'm just like I said, I told the girls from day one, you can play with anybody. We just have to, learn to play together and, do all the things that we're asking you to do and just never give up. And
And now you're back on top of the
And
conference.
we're back on top. We are. So, yeah, we're excited to be here, but we know, I was telling the girls this isn't it for us. So we're not going to just, settle for this one huge win. We need to keep it going now the rest of the season. We have a long break coming into Christmas. So we have, a lot of practice time, and I think we'll be even better by the time we suit up again in January.
Well, congratulations. It's really nice that you have this nice long break, and you have a terrific holiday. And we'll see you back on January 7th over at Boyceville.
All right. Sounds good. Thank you.
And that's Coach Serrar. And we'll be back with some more of Dan's statistics right after this timeout. You're tuned to Viking Postgame on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
When I was 10, my mom got deported. We had a difficult time, and I feel that's why I didn't get to finish school. My husband is really supportive in a way that he pushed me to go back to school.
She wants to have a career so her kids can look up to her.
They both keep me motivated to go to school, and they see that if I do it, like, they can do it too, I feel that everything's possible.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Hey!
Okay.
If you love me enough to tolerate my perfect little pets and all their glorious dander, then of course you'll visit nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure I'm in the right car seat.
When I was your age, I was just like you, fascinated by stars. But now I get to search for life in the universe. And who knows, maybe life is looking for us too.
So we're like aliens to them?
Yeah. Does anyone want to be a scientist now?
I do.
Awesome. We need more girls in STEM.
Maybe we can find aliens.
Well, Dan, let's try those points once again. Tell us who got us to where we are with this Viking victory.
Yeah, here's the scores for Durand Panthers tonight. Their leading scorer, they had two of them. Number 22, Leah Sabelko, she had 12. And number 12, Madison Kilbotton had 12. They also had number 30, Jocelyn Carruthers with 10. We had Bentley Bauer with 5. And we had McKenna Herbert and Addison Weiss and Madison Sand with 2 points each. For the Colfax Vikings, their leading scorer tonight was number 22, Maddie Barstad. She had 14 points, followed by Addison Olsen. She had 13. We had McKenna Shipman with 12. We had 8 points by Bailey Bradford. We had 4 points by Riley Parker. We had 3 points by Marissa Harmon and 2 points by Emily Bertram-Schofield and Jillian Bovey. So big team effort there tonight for Colfax.
And one thing we did not ask, Coach, let's hope that Jillian Bovey's ankle isn't in too bad a shape. She did go down in the first half with that, and I noticed they did have it on ice, and she was on crutches on the way out. But a lot of times that is standard procedure with an ankle injury, and so let's just hope it's not too bad. She's got a lot of time to rest it now because the next Viking girls game isn't until January 7th. 58-45, the Vikings back on top in the Dunn-St. Croix Conference. It's a tie, but they're back on top.
Yeah, that was a big win for them tonight. So let's see if they can hold on through the break here and pick it up in January.
Well, we don't get a break. We're right back at it tomorrow night. Viking boys up at Turtle Lake. We'll bring you that game remotely. Again, that Viking pregame is at 5:40 and live play-by-play is at 5:55. Final score once again from this one, the Viking girls 58, Durand Panthers 45. Viking girls tie the Panthers for first place in the Dunn-St. Croix Conference. For Dan Petchow, this is Rick Olson, and you've been tuned to Viking Postgame on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
You've been listening to Viking Postgame, a wrap-up of today's Colfax Viking girls game. You can catch Colfax Vikings games by tuning in to any of the Northern Light Webcasting Network outlets. This has been a production of the Northern Light Webcasting Network.